What's up, guys? Zeenigami here, and let's go through all the new characters coming soon to the global version of One Piece Treasure Cruise. We are getting the Strong World units finally, which means we're gonna get the entire crew all at once, and Jinbe, which normally came out with an older version of, with a different batch. But now he's gonna be with the Strong World Units batch. And what Jinbe does, Jinbe is our 6-star character in this batch. His captain ability boosts the health of fighters by 1.5 times all the time. If you are above 70% health or below 30% health, you'll get your attack boosted by 2.75 times. But if you're between that, if you're between 70% and 30%, your attack will only be boosted by 2 times. So if you're at large health, it's not even need to be at full health, you just need to be above 70%, which is pretty easy to do. So above 70% health or below 30% health, you get 2.75 times attack, which is a great attack boost all the time. Very, very strong captain ability. Very, very easy to rely on getting that high attack boost. And you get a little bit of extra bulk too. 2 Jinbe captains gives you an extra 2.25 times health, which is super great. His special ability also is very good. His special ability, it makes perfects harder to hit, which is unfortunate, but the bonus for it is that you will get all matching orbs on all your fighter characters and deals 20 times his attack in int damage to all enemies. Getting perfect matching orbs guaranteed is such a strong special ability. Heracleson is a character that is used on lots of teams only because he basically gives you matching orbs for a rainbow team, and Jinbe, doesn't matter what characters you bring can an all int team, you can bring Jinbe and a bunch of blue characters, you can bring a complete rainbow team. He guarantees you matching orbs on those fighter characters. That is such a strong ability. 2 Jinbe captains and an orb blocker gives you matching orbs for 3 turns. You bring in an orb booster and some of that, and you're just gonna smash through some things. So it's a very, very good special ability as long as you can hit those perfects. If you're blinded, that'll make perfects really hard to hit. If you don't know how that perfects hard to hit works, the yellow letters that comes in, as those yellow letters get closer, normally you have to tap it in a certain distance away from the center to count as a perfect. With perfects hard to hit, it makes the area that the yellow words have to be closer to the center. So it doesn't change how fast or how slow it goes in, it just changes how close to the center it has to be for it to count as a perfect. And you'll know if you would have hit a perfect and actually got a great, because it'll give you a little blurb that pops up whenever you hit that great. It says great and then a debuff looking thing on it. Then we have Strong World Luffy, one of the awesome characters in this batch. Strong World Luffy is a super good character, great captain ability, great special. He's got a 2.5 times attack to strength, which is the he's one of the very few characters that boost attack by 2.5 times for strength. And his special ability reduces your health by 99%, which may or may not be a good thing. He deals fixed damage to all enemies based on that 99% health, or 25 times his attack in fixed damage, and he boosts the attack of strength characters by 2 times, doubling the attack of strength characters. One of the few characters that doubles strength characters attack. I think actually the only one. Yeah, the only character that boosts by 2 times, the other one is 1.75 times. So the only character that boosts strength attack by 2 times. So good special ability, good attack captain ability, very good character all around. Sanji has a zombie captain ability, so if you're above 99% health, he reduces all damage taken by 80%. Combine this with someone who heals like a Vivi or a Corazon friend, and you've got yourself a team that will not die as long as you get hit only 1 time. But it's only going to be useful on very specific stages. This isn't a team that you can use all the time, but there are times that you'll want to use them as a captain. There are several Coliseum stages that you can use a zombie Corazon team with great effectiveness. But it's going to be a very slow team, of course, because you are basically getting very little attack boost. His special ability deals several times his attack, depending on how much health you currently have. So the more health you have, the less damage it does. The less health you have, the more damage it does. Not a super great special ability, but a little bit of damage isn't super bad. Now there's something right here, sailor ability. We haven't talked about that in any of my character reviews yet. What is a sailor ability? A sailor ability is an ability that only takes place when the character is not the captain. So the captain ability is a boost or whatever, a ability that is only active while the character is your captain, the sailor ability is an effect that is only active when the character is not your captain. So for Sanji, as long as he's not your captain, if he were to get paralyzed, he'd reduce his own paralysis by 3 turns, which is an okay ability, but not the best. We're going to see some more sailor abilities as we go up this list. This is going to be something that is not yet active on global One Piece Treasure Cruise, so sailor abilities does not really matter to global characters right now, but it's something to consider in the future, that sailor abilities eventually will come out, and then when they do come out, these characters' sailor abilities will become active. So we have Nami. Nami's captain ability is boost the attack of strikers and their recovery by 1.5 times. Not a useful captain ability. Her special ability randomizes all orbs and prevents you from dying as long as you're above half health. A very, very niche ability that might be useful here or there in replacement of a damage reducer. For example, if you know something's gonna deal like 100,000 hit points, you can just use prevent yourself from dying for 1 turn instead of either negate damage or reduce damage. But it's something that's a little hard to use. And her sailor ability makes it so that way if she has a dex orb, that counts as a matching orb. So normally, since she is a quick character, a dex orb will be badly matching, but basically with her sailor ability, she will never have badly matching orbs unless she has a bother orb. So Nami, a pretty character, one of the weaker ones of this bunch. Another weak one of this bunch is Brook. Brook's captain ability boosts the attack of side characters by 2 times and reduces damage taken from ink characters by 30%. Not a great captain ability once again. His sailor ability boosts the recovery of side characters by 15. Once again, pretty weak sailor ability. And his special ability deals random side damage to all enemies and randomizes all orbs. The only saving grace for Brook is he is a free spirit slasher with some pretty good stats. 1200 attack isn't that bad. It's a pretty nice attack, especially for a size slasher. So for stats wise, he's pretty good. But besides that, sailor ability, special ability, captain ability, pretty weak all around. But good stats. You know, you can't forget about the stats of a character. Then we have Zoro. Zoro is a pretty B plus character, I'd say. He's got a pretty decent attack, but he is a dex slasher, which has lots of dex driven slashers. We've got him fighting against Mihawk. We've got him fighting against Dofi, fighting against Killer for all those dex slasher positions. But his special ability is changes adjacent orbs, that is the one above him, below him, to the left or the right of him, into dex and deals 1000 fixed damage to all enemies. This is certainly a special ability that finds its spot in a stage that on stage 4 has high defense characters. You can use his special, kill all the characters on stage 4 and guarantee yourself 3 dex orbs. For example, you can use this on stage 4 of Enel, walk into Enel with 3 orbs guaranteed. Of course, Enel, you're probably not going to be bursting on that turn 3, but it's just something to consider. His sailor ability boosts the attack of slasher characters by 20. Now it's attack of all slasher characters. So if all slasher characters on your team get 20 attack, that's a nice little boost here. That's like giving everybody 10 attack con candies. You know, it's not super great, but it's pretty decent. And his captain ability boosts the attack of dex characters by 3 times. If you're below 30% health, not a great captain ability. I mean, a good 3 times attack boost. Don't say that. I mean, don't forget that it is a good captain boost, but there are better dex boosters. And then we have Chopper. Chopper is another very weak character. Attack and recovery of dex characters by 2 times, pretty meh. His special ability removes poison and recovers 15 times his recovery in HP. There's only been a couple times in One Piece Treasure Cruise when you really want to remove poison that's super deadly. Times I can think of are Tal Nami's Coliseum stage. That's one where we really want to get rid of poison. But besides that, there's really, removing poison is a very, very niche ability that you don't see needed very often, because poison is really hard to find. And then his sailor ability, when your health is below, I believe is 30%, but I'm not sure, he boosts his own recovery by 50, which overall just makes your food heal by 50 more. Just not great character. So Chopper is just pretty low on there, just like Nami is. Then we have Strong World Robin, who's pretty decent, outclassed by the other Robins. Her weakness mostly is that she's a Robin, so she's fighting up against the other Int Robins. There's 3 Int Robins that are really good. There's Strong World Robin, 3-Day 2-Year Robin, and version 1 Int Robin, all very strong. but this one is probably the weakest of the three. Her captain ability boosts attack and recovery of int characters by 2 times. Her special ability boosts your chance of getting int orbs for 3 turns. That's a pretty nice ability. If you weren't trying to use her on the same term as a Robin, on the same team as a Robin that doubles your int damage, doubling your int damage is just so much stronger. And the delay plus reduce your health to 1 is more useful for Croc teams on 3-day 2-year Robin. But Robin's probably largest boost to this Strong World Robin is actually her Sailor ability. Her Sailor ability reduces duration of blindness by 3 turns. So, if your team were ever to get blinded, it reduces that blindness duration by 3 turns just by having her on your team. So, that's actually probably the strongest thing about this Robin, is that reduced blindness duration by 3 turns. Of course, it doesn't matter if the blindness is like 99 turns, but really the other Robins, version 1 Int Robin and 3-day 2-year Robin, are just a little bit stronger. And then we have Usopp. Usopp, one of the few very, very good versions of Usopp out there. Strong World Usopp boosts the attack of shooters by 2 times and recovery by 1.5. Not a great captain ability. Boosts the recovery of shooters by 10. Not a great sailor ability. But his special ability delays all enemies by 3 turns and cuts their health by 10%. Of course, it's got a 14-turn cooldown compared to Golden Pound Usopp's 10-turn cooldown, but for that 4 extra turns, you get 10% enemy health cut, which is a very, very good special. This Usopp is so good, especially for Strong World Ace teams. So this is Usopp. If you have a shooter team or you want to use a shooter team, highly recommend leveling him up and getting his special up as fast as you can. He's a very, very good Usopp. Him, Golden Pound Usopp, and Impact Out Usopp, and 3-day 2-year Usopp are the best Usopps there are. Very, very, very good Usopp. Very, 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 very good. And then we have super sexy Franky. Strong World Franky, another very good character for those super good shooter teams. His captain ability actually is pretty decent. Boosts the attack of strength characters by 2.25 and deals 2 times his attack as strength damage to all enemies at the end of each turn. It's not that much damage, but if you're farming a easy stage, for example, you can bring him against penguins and then you'll just kill all the penguins without having to attack. His passive damage will just kill everything at the end of his turn. Important to note that any captain ability that deals damage at the end of turns also works for killing characters with the endurance buff. For example, Fat Usopp. That raid, he will prevent himself from dying. If you have Strong World Franky as your captain, that little passive damage that happens at the end of each turn, that goes through, prevents death, and that will kill Usopp. So that makes him able to kill things with that passive, cannot be killed buff without having to poison them or anything like that. So that's a pretty cool captain ability. He boosts the attack of shooter characters by 20 times. Another attack boosting sailor ability. That's always nice to see. And his special ability. His special ability not only gives himself a strength orb, but he also amplifies the effects of orbs by 1.5 times for 2 turns. The same orb boost as Kobe, the same orb boost as Kaku, but he is a shooter orb booster. The best shooter orb booster there is. Besides that, a Strong World Ace team will probably bring Doflamingo or Marco as their orb booster. But Franky is a strength shooter orb booster, fits perfectly into that spot on your Strong Ace team. So once again, another character you want if you're having a Strong Ace captain. That's it, guys. Those are all of the new Strong World characters and 6-star Jinbe coming soon to the global version of One Piece Treasure Cruise. A quick rundown once again. Jinbe, super good. You really want him. Strong World Luffy, super good. You really want him. Sanji, okay. Decent captain. Bad sub. Nami, yeah. Brook, depends on if you have side slashers. Momonga's out though. You'll basically always be using Momonga over Brook. Zoro, decent orb manipulator. Shame he's a side slasher. Deck slasher. Chopper, bad. Nami, Robin, nice. Shame that she's a Robin. Would be really good if she were any other character so you can use her on an int team. But besides that, fighting for those other Robins. Usopp, super good. You really want him. And Franky, super good. You really want him. Guys, good luck with your Sugofest pulls. I'm Zeenigami. Thank you so much for watching. Extra special thanks to our Patreon supporters, Carlos Baron, supercrazyapple, Akik, and Padanmagician. If you guys like what we do, you can go to patreon.com/Zeenigami and subscribe. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Y'all stay beautiful.